I want to give you a demonstration of the types of settings that I use to record World of Warcraft. This is sort of indicative only. The actual results you get are going to be really dependent on the hardware you've got and graphics card, what kind of machine you've got, that kind of thing. But use this as a basis. So here's one I prepared earlier. Let's get rid of that. Let's start again. World of Warcraft. Okay, so get rid of that follow mouse cursor. We don't want that. We don't want microphone audio. We do want system audio. And how about we actually change the right preset? That would help. System audio, medium quality. Okay, we want a high frame rate. It's fairly clear. It's also the reason that I've chosen to make a reasonably small World of Warcraft window rather than full screen. If I try and make that full screen, it's going to tax the machine quite a bit and go a bit, probably everything will probably slow down. So it's probably one of the biggest things you can do to tune your capture performance is use a smaller size window if necessary. Okay, let's go for 25 frames per second, but we're not going to use H.264 because that's very CPU intensive. So we'll choose Apple Intermediate Codec. That's a good trade-off between the amount of data that's written to disk and the amount of compression that's done. It's not that heavy on the compression front, and so that leaves some CPU for World of Warcraft itself. We don't want follow mouse cursor, and it doesn't really matter about that. Okay, let's give that a go. Bump up the volume here and see what we find. So you'll see I'm actually recording two things at once here. I've got an attempt to record 30 frames a second up here. That's for this demonstration video itself. That's actually running an Apple animation codec. So if we go into WoW, we'll see that I'm achieving 60 frames a second, which is roughly the refresh rate of the screen. And that's all smooth and dandy. And if I record, oh wait, we haven't set the capture area. That would be a good idea, I think. Yes, it could have been a fatal mistake. Wouldn't have been a video that would have been very fun to watch. Right, let's try that again. Okay, record. Here we go. All right, so off we run into our Land of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft is still able to get more frames per second than what we're recording, which is a good thing. It means we should have good play performance. And it looks like we've got some overhead there that if things get busy, such as if you're doing a raid, then you've still got a bit of CPU room. Now it's probably a little bit unfair because this is actually recording on a Mac Pro. It's a 3 GHz Mac Pro with an ATI card in it and 4 cores. And you can see up here in the top right, it's got a little bit of headroom to go. It's not at 100% yet, and both videos are recording at a reasonable rate. The Apple animation one is not quite reaching 30, but things are still smooth here, and life is good. Now I'll stop that. Okay, you can probably see the color difference, a little bit washed out. Get rid of that. If we bring up the information for that, it's got an average frame rate of 24.92, so it's hit pretty much 25. Get rid of, close that. Okay, so in terms of tuning, the biggest thing you can do is to change your World of Warcraft size, really. The size that you play at. If you're finding that you can't get the frame rate you want and you're using Apple Intermediate, then make it smaller, effectively. You're going to have a problem on a G4. It basically isn't. You're not going to get a good frame rate on a G4. I don't think there's any G4 in existence that will give you a decent frame rate in World of Warcraft, let alone recording at the same time. A G5, you'll need a decent graphics card, but even then you'll have to be careful about the size that you record at and where you are in the game. So for example, if you're running around Ironforge or a really graphically heavy area, you'll get a slower frame rate than if you're outside. The Intel machines look pretty good. They get good results with the Apple Intermediate codec. Again, I had to be a little bit careful about the size I was recording at, but that was faster than my dual proc 2.5 GHz G5. As in my MacBook Pro, was faster than that. And of course the Mac Pro is faster again. Anyway, that's enough babbling about machines. Not really here to do a machine comparison. I'm just trying to give you some information so that you can get some idea, some expectation. But this is the basis. Start with Apple Intermediate. You could try also Apple Animation. That's another thing you could do. Anyway, I believe this has given you something to think about. Have a play with the settings and see where you can get to.